JSO had been to their house so many times. His mother tells us she didn't think twice about calling them there, thinking they'd just, help him get to the hospital, as officers have done several times before. People who knew him say this wasn't, some violent guy, but a sweet man who just needed some help.
Harold was good. He loved his neighbors, and they loved him. Harold was always there to help anybody who could help him.
Jacqueline Weaver says even though her son, 52-year-old Harold Kraai, had the mental capacity of a 12-year-old and battled schizophrenia, he still had a big heart.
Yeah.
His neighbor, who didn't want to go on camera, says he saw how big that heart could be, even after he accidentally killed Harold's dog.
It just started underneath my car. Actually, tried to console me, because he could see how messed up I was about it.
But JSO Chief Investigator Chris Butler paints Harold differently.
He's got a criminal history of disorderly intoxication, battery domestic violence, criminal mischief, aggravated battery, trespassing, and making threats.
When JSO was called to help get Harold to the hospital during a mental episode, an officer shot at him 8 times in his front yard. Butler says Harold had a knife and walked towards the officer.
It's not like a slow, casual walk or anything at all. He's charging towards the officer.
No.
His neighbor says he couldn't even picture that.
He always moved lethargically. In the 9 years, I've never seen him move fast.
His neighbor says he saw the aftermath of the shooting and it broke his heart.
I asked him why they shot him, and the officer hesitated for quite a while, and then he said he had a knife.
As the memory of Harold's death still sits fresh on their minds, family says they'll remember him for how he lived.
He was gentle and kind, and he couldn't read, but he loved us.
Now, obviously, there are still a lot of questions surrounding this. The state attorney's office is now investigating. In the studio, Lana Harris, First Coast News, on your side.